a little wet your palate before you get to watch the whole Go With Your Palate. We talked about, oddly, video games. Yeah. The evolution of them, where they're at today.
Yeah.
How big of a market it is.
How they're affecting our youth.
Storage and wine in the ocean.
Cellar.
Yeah.
What's a good temperature?
We did have to skip horrible bosses, but we did talk about the wine bottle and wine glass shapes.
And also we did a plug, 4-H.
Oh,
do
that's
4-H.
right.
Yeah.
Dude,
have your guys use 4-H.
Just listen, at least listen to the 4-H part of this, because if you got kids, they got to learn to not be vegans, and that's a great way.
That's not what we're doing.
What?
Yeah.
Go with your palate.
Is this your first time?
Is this your first time? I know. I was nervous my first time.
You were?
But yeah, I've kind of like kicked the nerves now. You know?
Wait, were you seriously?
Yeah, dude. I was young.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the podcast.
We're talking about the podcast?
What are you talking? Oh, you're talking about. Wait, are you talking about losing your virginity?
No, man, no.
Wait, that's what you were talking about.
I was talking about the podcast.
You said when you were young. We just
listen. However you heard it, I think I said something different. It was actually a different language.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the podcast, and yeah, I was a little nervous the first time, but no, I feel good now. Jeez, man,
it's okay. It's okay.
You're screwed up, dude. That's all you think about.
What?
That's all you think about. Think with your upper brain. The upper brain.
Think with my Blanca.
Think with your.
I think with my Ryu.
Dude, okay. So first of all, okay. I don't really ever bring you gifts because you're not deserving of them.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
I was like so surprised. Did you see? Like it was weird. Like.
Yeah.
Would you?
I know.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Why did you give me gifts?
It was supposed to be weird.
I'm not deserving. You know, you treat me like shit, dude. If you're not careful, you're gonna lose me. One day, he's gonna fucking show up here, and this seat will be empty.
It'll be empty, and I'll miss you forever.
Why are you smiling? You got like really happy.
Are you copying Goodwill Hunting, Chris?
Oh
okay,
man!
So what do you want to talk about this gift? Yeah, because I'm wearing it. And...
No, so I was shopping with one of my kids last night, and he's going into a school, and so we were like, just going to pick up some stuff. We go to Zoomies, which is like a skate shop. It's like got a little bit of like an emo character to it, but they have like cool like graphic tees and stuff, and that's what he was like looking for. He's like 15, right? 16, actually just turned 16. So. Anyways, I'm like looking around because I don't want to look like a pedophile walking around. It's like a bunch of teenagers and like, dude, I got to tell you, it is so awkward shopping with teenagers now.
But
I just want to go sit outside of the store until they are like, hey dad, can you come in and like see my stuff that I want to buy?
Why don't you do that? That's what, dude, you remember what my dad used to do?
Drop our asses off.
He'd drop our asses off with a roll of quarters and say, fucking, see you later. I was like, Dad, I know, this isn't even the comic book shop. This is the liquor store. He's like, figure it out. This is where I'm going. I don't know where you're going, but this is where I'm going.
I should have done that. So I'll tell you this whole story about the my experience yesterday. But first, so while I'm in this store, this Zoomies, I'm like looking around. And they got all sorts of like crazy hats and stuff. So I see they got Street Fighter hats.
Yeah.
They only had 2 characters. Guess who those 2 characters were? Well, now you know because you're wearing one. Ryu, your favorite Street Fighter growing up.
Yep.
And Blanca, my favorite Street Fighter.
Yep.
I got to say my hat looks way, way fucking cooler than yours. Dude, look at the colors. Green and orange. Like this thing
Look, dude.
Pops out. Yours is kind of standard.
Okay. Is this why you got me a gift? So I could wear it and then you could just talk shit about it?
Look, I'm not competitive by nature.
But I will say, okay, actually I will say that your hat, I think your hat's pretty sick.
I don't even know who makes these, but like I thought that it was pretty cool that like they had these. So, now we got. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you searched this out, but it was just like the only characters they had. So you didn't remember who my favorite character was from Street Fighter 2?
It was either Ken or Ryu, but I was pretty sure because you always used to walk around school.
Hadouken!
Yeah, you used to walk around school going, Hadouken!
Hadouken!
And meanwhile, my favorite character, I can't just walk around campus and like curl up in a ball and like act electrocution.
I think you did do that, but then people just thought you were having like a seizure or something. They had to and then save you, dude. They're like, dude, he needs help.
They call the EMT.
I'm like, he's doing the Blanca. He's doing the Blanca.
It's a trick move.
I know, and you can't really you could run and roll at people.
That's right. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that in tag though, but yeah, I should have probably done that. Anyway, so yeah, you're welcome for the gift.
Hey, yeah, thank you. I think too.
But so I do want to talk a little more about Street Fighter and video games, the evolution of it and all that. But first, I got to tell you just a story about yesterday. So I don't like malls. I don't go to malls very often, but that's kind of like where all of these shitty stores are that kids like shopping at.
Yeah.
So we go to the Santa Rosa Mall, and it just I don't think it's recovered since COVID. It was kind of dismal. Yeah. I mean, it used to be a place to like hang out. There were kids all over the place.
That's why this is interesting already, because I thought they were kind of like dead.
It was pretty dead. It was like I mean, it was just a weird vibe the whole time I was there. So we hit like 4 stores there, like the Foot Locker, did Zoomies, did Tilly's, did PacSun. But dude, in between the last two, Zoomies and Foot Locker, I was already just like done with it. I was so fucking bored. I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. I don't know. I felt like a caged cat. You know that feeling? You're just kind of like start doing the Blanca. You're like, So he's like, hey, can we just like get a snack? I'm like super hungry. And so we go over to the food court, and we had like udon soup at like this little like they had like a little Japanese place called like Kyoto Grill or something. Yeah. But it was in the food court. The shit was like blazing hot. It was pretty good. But I never had teriyaki chicken inside of udon soup. So it added like sweetness. I didn't know how to feel about it, but I felt like it was offensive to the culture of Japan, where udon is such never mind.
Is this where this is going?
Dude, I don't know. It was an experience yesterday, and so I look at my watch. I'm like, dude, I don't wear a watch, but my phone, whatever, my fancy pocket watch from Steve Jobs. So I'm like, I look at the time. I'm like, dude, Augie, it's 7, man. I gotta go. Like, this is an hour drive back. Like, we gotta go back. Like, anyways, we got all the shit that we needed, and we were off. And I hope I never go into a mall again.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I thought like I didn't even like think like the youth or whatever.
No, they don't hang out there. So
they don't hang out there. That used to be right?
So while we're sitting there eating our crappy udon, I'm like telling them like, this used to be like the spot. Parents would be like, whatever, I'm working till 5, so after school, go hang out at the mall. Or I'll just drop you off at the mall this weekend and you hang out with all your friends. And it was like the place. And it was kind of like a safe haven for parents to drop their kids off. And there was stuff to do there for kids. Yep. He's like, there was stuff to do here, like other than shopping. I was like, oh yeah, there was like video games. There were like some places had rides. Like
you'd actually go to comic book stores and like hang out and like talk shop and like
it was
get the newest issue. And
it was a place. Dude, there's nothing there now. There was a GameStop, which I was like, GameStop still exists? After that whole, like, remember that? Like, just like skyrocket and then like, whoosh, crushed them.
So that was still around.
So we're walking by GameStop and I'm like, how are they still open? Like, everything is streamed now. And like, and now going back to video games, apparently we're going to talk a lot about video games on this podcast, which is supposed to be about wine,
entrepreneurship,
and whatever the fuck else. So this is a lot of whatever the fuck else today.
And if you didn't know, you are
Joe Wagner, and you are
Fat Mario,
aka
Chris Rubio,
the Rubio, and this is Go With Your Palate, the podcast. Boom. So I get
that's what. Sorry, dude. God, you're a little edgy today.
I am a little edgy, dude. I barely ate anything. I've been wired. I feel like Blanca.
You're wired. Okay, well, take like a drink or something. I got a warm Coke Zero.
Dude, I just ran into the kitchen.
Can I drink it? Yeah.
I ran into the kitchen like on my way, like the office kitchen.
Yeah.
And because we just finished a production meeting, I was like, I need something to eat before I go do this.
Yeah.
So just something quick. I grabbed, it was literally 2 pounds of turkey meat. Put it in a tortilla, put some A1 barbecue sauce or A1 steak sauce on it, and just sitting there like crushing this, maybe the shittiest wrap I've ever made. But I tell you what, it feels good in my belly.
Wait, hold on a second. So you did eat, so you are good.
I am good now. Now I can have a glass of wine.
I have a protein drink. I have some.
Dude,
let me get it.
No,
for
I don't believe in your stuff. No.
Nope.
You keep your witchcraft.
It's 20 grams of pea protein. The PP.
PP protein.
You like that?
All right, so video games, like, all right, so arcades, that was a thing.
Okay, yeah, so that's what, we're talking about this. This is where we grew up, though. This is like nostalgic for us.
Yeah,
this was a big deal, right? I mean, we were.
And now it's funny because like these places are becoming kind of like, and I think there's a nostalgia to it. So they're like luxury arcades. with full bars. We were actually just in one in Vail in Colorado. We had like a big group of our distributors out there and our sales team, and we went to this place. I can't remember the name of it, but it was awesome. Like super cool, like speakeasy-ish vibe in one room. Then they had like the library, and then the restaurant, and then they had the arcade, and that's kind of like where everybody finishes their night. So there's also a lawyers convention, which, first of all, if there's one thing I really don't like, it's lawyers.
Nothing
and then,
like a lawyer's
and
convention.
then you get lawyers, and they were litigators, so they're the really aggressive ones. There were quite a few attractive ones, both the men and the women.
Okay.
Now, add an aggressive lawyer to copious amounts of cocaine. Okay. In Vail, Colorado, at an arcade. That's the shit we were dealing with. I mean, thank God Rachel was with me, because I think as soon as they realize you're not a lawyer, I mean, it's almost like it's like it could be shooting fish in a barrel. Like, yeah, I'm a lawyer, so I don't fuck lawyers. But oh, you're in the wine business, and it's just like, no, I'm not going to play skee ball with you. Like, my wife is here.
Wait, is this guy? Wait, like, was that coke? Wait, are you talking about actual skee ball?
No,
actual. I played skee ball.
We were actually playing skee ball, but no.
I played skee ball with Art.
You could tell these attorneys were like fucking jacked up on some shit. They were there to party.
They were letting loose.
Oh yeah. And our whole group was just kind of like, we're very competitive. It's all people in sales, and then like me. So everybody's very competitive. So it's like whatever it was. So Pong played like. They had this awesome new rendition of Pong. It was Pong. Jesus.
Pogs or Pong?
Pong. But it was
Pong.
It actually wasn't a video game, but it played like a video game. But it was actually like these foam things, and like the ball was foam, and so it actually was moving through the screen, and you'd see wherever you were moving your paddle, that it was moving this piece of foam, and it would bounce off. Like, it worked just like the video game, but it had like this kind of cool like tactile thing to it. So there's like new renditions of old games, and Pong being like the OG video game, right?
That is the game that started it all.
That started it all.
Yeah.
So they had that. So I would love to get like that. But I haven't looked up what they cost. They're probably, 10
So that was like in
grand,
72 or something, that like when Pong like launched it for like Atari. Or I don't know. You can maybe I think that's around that time.
Pong,
but that's
black
crazy.
and white, two paddles and a ball. Boom. That's it.
Yes, and then here we are now, even with all the technology and graphics like that, and they still are finding ways to keep that original like still fresh that people will play. And I bet you're having a blast. I bet you're like just like talking shit.
Oh yeah,
they're probably doing lines off the fucking.
I didn't know. I ended up not playing with them. No, but then also
right here, New Whoa,
1972,
baby.
Yeah. And then they also had this Pac-Man, but it was a new version of Pac-Man where there were like some specials that you can like pick up and stuff. And it was a ton of fun to play. So we all got super competitive. There's no winning stuff. Like, you're just literally, it's an arcade.
Yeah.
Well,
so it was really no ticket system. It used to be that, like, remember those?
Yeah, then you get like the shitty little prize. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get the chain monkeys, No, but it was really cool. But I like to see like what is old becoming new again. Like, that stuff's part of our culture. Like, that's not going anywhere. But you were talking about the video game industry.
Yes.
Recently, and that like where it's come from, where it's gone, and I mean, I try a little bit, but like I don't play really ever.
No, well, what happened, man, is I actually had to stop. Like, I think there was a period where things happened, but like what happened is that for me, dude, the games got really, really like involved. Like, it was almost like I started playing this game, Fallout 4, like a few years ago. And it was like I found myself playing the game, right? And it was like all of a sudden time passed. And it was like 4 hours later. And all I was just getting my outfit out to go out in the day to go like kill zombies or like monsters and stuff. Like in my gun. And I was like just like all these little different like customizations you can do to like, your gun. You're like, dude, I didn't even like fight anybody. I'm just like.
You've just been prepping this whole time. Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, I guess we dealt with that in college. It kind of took me a little while to get ready, but.
Those role-play games are like something real now in the worlds of like Assassin's Creed. I've seen like my kids play that.
Yeah.
And then like the world is expansive, and so you can go on all these different quests and whatever, and like It's wild. Same thing with like my kids know more. I know a lot about guns. My kids, the boys in particular, they know like more about guns than I do because they're building these custom weapons on like Call of Duty.
Whoa.
And like oh yeah, that's a blah, blah, whatever. I'm like, I've never even seen one of those. First of all, probably illegal here in California because just the politicians and the politics. That's all.
Really?
So
you just had to.
You guys can cut that out if you want.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's actually crazy too. To think that they're getting it right within that. Because I don't play that. I mean, I know of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Obviously, that franchise is done
huge.
very well.
Yeah.
I know it's been around for a long time, and I've had a lot of friends that played it. But it sounds like too they like to keep it really down to like realistic.
Yeah.
Ways of like the whole dynamic of the game, but then also like the guns and stuff that you're using. So
yeah.
You're actually kind of learning. I mean, is that educational?
I guess it could be educational, except until you actually hold a real gun. But no, so like I played. The kids have like World War II Call of Duty, and so it's all like legit weapons, and you can pick whatever side you want to be on. But you can do zombies, and so you're actually just it's like you and whatever 2 or 3 other people, and you're just running around shooting zombies, trying to like get to the next stage, and it's like it's fun. I mean, Can
you hang with your kids? Like, can you actually like?
No, dude, they're.
Are you just like running
by the time they were like 10,
and like they're just like clipping you? It's like
I'm dying. They're like, God damn it, Dad! I gotta come and jab you again. Yeah.
He's stuck in the corner again.
It's fun though. I think that they appreciate me trying. That's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it goes both ways because I appreciate them trying at things that actually matter in life, unlike video games. But no, it was fun.
Yeah, so I looked into some things, and like there was already some things that stood out to me that like were surprising. Like for the global revenue of the industry, is like more than music and like movies like combined.
That's huge.
Like
that's
nuts. It's
like
it's 175 billion.
That's a huge industry. And okay, so and that includes all of the app-based games too?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So that's what it is, and then that,
I see that,
and I think it's a little more than 50% of that is actually mobile.
Okay.
Which is like, I mean, I started thinking about that too, and I'm like, dude, I mean, you were a Candy Crusher.
Dude, I still am a Candy Crusher when I'm bored.
We've talked about this before.
I played some card games online.
You got to number one. You were number one in the world at one time.
For like a week.
I remember when you hit number one. Were you in the bathroom?
I think I was, and I think we were actually.
Did you come out? I thought you just had like a champion number 2. I don't know. You know, I remember like first I thought you were coming out like celebrating, but it wasn't. You were just.
And dude, I had to show you my stats. we were like just about to go to Mexico, and I was like, dude, yeah.
I gotta say though, I was impressed.
It was just a time frame, right?
I'm just impressed because, dude, you're so fucking busy. You have like so much shit going on that we talk about like on the side, to know that you just in your spare time you decided to become number one.
Sometimes when I go to the bathroom, I do emails.
You don't waste a minute.
Sometimes I play Candy Crush. I mean, those are the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that high. Like, I don't know, level 3 or 4,000, somewhere in there, whatever.
Oh, you fell off.
Yeah. Once you become number one, it's like, I mean, you just wake up in the morning and piss excellence. I don't know. Like, what else is there in my life?
Do they send you anything? Like, do you
get a fucking digital star with a bunch of like little gremlins around it, and
you got like
you don't even get like extra lives. No.
Oh my gosh, like all that. So I mean, like
I get to show it off to my friends. That's what I get. And then my wife's like, really? Really? Do you really care about this?
You should have just been walking around all like pompous through the house, being like, "Excuse me."
Like put it as my screensaver, like a screenshot of it as my screensaver.
You could have made like a certificate, just hung it up. You should have done that, just like snuck it in there.
Made it legit.
Yeah.
All right, so but now have you played have you done VR?
No. Well, yes. I haven't done it recently. I haven't done some of this new VR.
I don't know what I've done the we have an Oculus.
Yeah, so that's like
that's the Meta Oculus, but like so it's wireless, which is cool. They got these like 2 little hand things, and so they got shoot 'em up games in there, and like they're they're pretty. Like I've tried them out. Like one of my kids like loves to play these games, and so he's up there and he's like holding these two things, like like looking like he's holding an actual gun. It's hilarious to watch. But no, they're like pretty damn realistic. Like they're pretty fun. But I don't usually get motion sickness, but like in certain games, I start getting like a little like.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you like fainted or?
No, haven't fainted yet. No, I haven't fainted in a while.
All right.
Rachel can't touch those things.
Good.
Like.
They'll just make it sick.
Oh, she'll throw up.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So
that'd be wild.
But I do love those videos when like it's like, oh, my dad trying VR and he like runs through a wall.
I mean, do you think that's something where it's going to come to? I don't know. Like I miss like the old like fighting games like that we were like Street Fighter. Like there was like Street Fighter started it, and then there was, and I just remember because we were just recently actually at the fair. So that brought back a lot of memories.
Because they had an arcade at the fair.
The arcade at the fair, right? But there was like Tekken, then spawned in Mortal Kombat, and like all these like fighting games. And I think you're still affected by the Evo Moment 37.
What?
The Evo Moment 37?
I don't even know what
Daigo?
that is.
Joe. Okay. Joe. Evo Moment 37, dude.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
No, this is
actually angry.
Is that Psylocke or no?
It's Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Yeah, we're watching this epic battle. We have to look this up.
Oh wait. So this was.
Now watch his health. Watch his health, okay? Boom. He has like nothing, okay? She's gonna come at him with the super combo. Blocks him.
No. Dude, what year was that? 2004?
Yeah. This is one of the Street Fighter 2.
That was
Look at how many people are there going crazy.
Like the World Championship?
Yeah.
Dude, they're like more excited than like a boxing match or an MMA match.
You had to be there, Joe. That's what it says on the screen. So we're just watching a Street Fighter 2 championship. But I remember though when we were like playing those games, like I wanted to do that. Like I wanted.
I wanted to also.
I wanted to like do the championship. Now, obviously, we chose different directions, but it's interesting now. They're coming out with a lot of cool documentaries about the people that actually did like go and pursue those careers and
how did they do?
They are now and stuff.
I mean, I'm sure some of them are like great engineers and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, I think you like learn a lot. I mean, and that's the thing too. I mean, there is something to say that like with reaction time and stuff that. Right, that's what they were teaching us through video games.
Is that? That's what they told you. They're like your motor skills and your hand-eye. It's all gonna. It's hand-eye coordination. It's all gonna improve your thumb muscles. Like,
okay,
bullshit.
What do you have to say? Okay, and this I know that you've seen this because your kids have also been watching, and you probably know some of them too. Like the people that play the video games, they actually get paid. Serious money.
Oh, you're talking when they record themselves,
yes,
and then they like narrate while they're playing.
Yes.
Yeah, they got into watching one or two of them got into watching that stuff for a little while, but it's like when I first saw that, I was like, why are people wasting their time with this? Like this should be illegal.
Wait, illegal for the people doing it?
You're not even playing a video game. You're watching somebody play a video game and talk trash to that video game by themselves in like their grandma's basement.
But we used to do that like with our friends, just like together, like when there wasn't enough controllers or something, and someone's playing a game. Like that's what that is, isn't it? Don't you think? Like on
that's very different if you're like sucking at a game and I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
Versus like me just sitting there.
You have like it's like human interaction involved, but like it's crazy that you're just watching. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can get a career. You can get a career as a drone pilot.
Drone pilots.
Yep.
Using video games. So see that?
I do know that. And there's that movie out too now where there's the race car driver that was recruited from online racing and brought into actual racing. I don't know. It's a movie. It's like I think it's either out or about to come out. But like, and it was it's actually
a documentary.
No, it's based on a true story. I don't know.
It's based.
I wish I had a little more information on it because I saw the trailer and that was it.
Art's on it. All right, we'll try to save you right now.
All right. Moving on.
Okay,
moving on. But okay. So what is next? Like the metaverse, right? People are actually buying property in this universe and trying to sell products, or whatever else. Like, I'm trying to like figure out how wine fits into that, because like wine is cool in the real world because it's actually something that can't be replicated by AI, right? It's like you see like people going to concerts now, people going to live events because that's a real experience. You can't get that online.
Yeah.
So wine is a real experience, but it doesn't translate into the metaverse. Like, are you going to buy a bottle of wine for even $1 just to like drink it with your friends that you don't actually drink?
Well, hold on a second though, but didn't oh, see, look, the art's already there. Lessons from...
Did the metaverse crash?
Dude, it bombed so bad.
Oh, whoa.
I'm glad I didn't invest in that.
Catastrophic failure of the metaverse. Wow, dude.
Did the digital class learn anything from buying into a product that was obviously destined to flop?
Wow.
Well, you made Mr. Zuckerberg just a handful of cash and maybe a lot more people.
So it's done. So, like, what'd you do if you bought property there?
No shit. Hey, Art, seriously, is it dead? Like, is it gone, or is there still a metaverse?
As I understand it, I'll have to verify this. They've stopped invested money into it because it just... The idea was sound, but the technology, he just couldn't get it there fast enough. He's lost his shirt on it.
Whoa.
It was a technology issue? Like, to me, I would think that that's more of a, user issue where you get in and you're like, okay, I can walk around and talk to people that I don't actually know and will never actually know in real life.
No, the common complaint was actually what you guys were pointing out. The technology in the video games is so realistic to the examples you were talking about that the consumer was really frustrated because the characters were very like Nintendo Wii-ish, like from the 1990s, early 2000s, and they just couldn't get it there. So people just
I would have thought that.
What?
I thought there would be like some sort of nostalgia there, like all these furries like wanting to get in there. It's like, I can live my life as a rabbit. I can fuck a dog. Like,
why are the furries? Why are the... that's your target group?
No, I'm just thinking like if they're
like, we're gonna get the furries.
If they're like the 90s like animals of the arcades, then like I'd imagine that if you're really into that, like you might be a furry.
Art, how many furries are in the U.S.? Do we have a percentage?
Oh man.
I like to make Art look up furries.
See, and I don't mean to ostracize a group. Like, I just don't understand furries, but I don't know any.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I mean,
but like you get like do what you want, do what makes you happy. Like, I hope you enjoy wine. Like, look, I mean, I hope we have our wines at furry festivals.
I'm cool. I'm cool with furries. I'm definitely cool too. What about the costume play, like cosplay?
Cosplay, yeah.
Yeah. So like people that want to dress up like Blanca.
Yeah.
And get with the Chun-Li. I mean, Chun-Li outfit looks...
So you just assume... that you just assume... you just assume that it's all about screwing at those things? It's like, oh my god, Chun-Li, you've been my favorite. It's like, well, it's not actually me, but...
Wait, they can't... Why not? I mean, is it...
I guess, man. I've never... did you... I have never role-played. Have you role-played?
You've never role-played?
I mean, not to the point of like, I didn't like put on an outfit and like talk in an accent.
But you do accents so good.
Yeah. My wife is Jewish, okay? She's Jewish, and my best accent happens to be a German accent. That's not going to go over so well. I'm not even going to say shit about what is going through my mind right now.
Can we not? Can we not, bro?
No, I'm gonna leave it, man. I'm gonna leave it. That was a...
Well, I was gonna say about one more thing about the metaverse though is that because I knew about I didn't play Fortnite. I know you talked about Fortnite because you had kids that played Fortnite. Yeah. So this was like that it's a multiplayer game, right? So we've had multiplayer games. But what was interesting about that, when I was like thinking about the metaverse, was when I heard like they had like Travis Scott put like a concert on.
Yeah.
Did your kids go to that concert within Fortnite? But that was like you're in a game.
No, but they did watch it online afterwards.
Oh,
like they watched a video of it. But like I don't know if you had to like. It was cool. Like I saw it and like wherever it brought you. I can't remember the whole thing, but there was like a whole journey. You're going through this like world of while the concert's going. It was like well done, but I mean, what do you get after it? You like go to school and you're like, dude, I was at the digital Travis Scott concert yesterday. Did your parents let you join?
You just at the well, I mean, but think about I guess it's safe.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. You know what? There needs to be. Don't get me started on this shit.
How many people attended the Travis Scott concert for Fortnite?
You look that up while I go off on a tirade right now. So, dude, our kids need to be doing dangerous stuff. Like, they learn through that. Like, how are you going to create people that are actually like benefiting society? You know what I hate most?
What
is all these fuckers out there that just sit around complaining and never do anything? It's like they have all these opinions on everybody and how they should feel and what they should think and whatever else. And they're so quick to tell you, both in person and online, but when then you challenge them, you're like, well, what did you do? Like, oh, I don't like the homeless problem in California.
Yeah.
So what can I do? Well, I could go down to a soup kitchen and actually like feed them and get to learn like from them. I've actually done that. Like, no big deal, right? Yeah. And it's humbling and like you're helping out the community and everything, even though it's getting really fucking annoying. Like, take your tents off the street, stop starting fires, all that stuff. Like, get rid of the drugs. Our state is the problem, I'd say, much more than the people. Now, you ask those people who are like, you need to be sensitive about them. Then, dude, did you ever go to a soup kitchen? Have you been to an orphanage helping homeless kids? Hold on. I'm on. I said this is a tirade.
12.3 million attendees to the virtual concert starring rapper Travis Scott.
12.3. That's a lot. No, so then you ask these
12.3. That's a lot.
Then you ask these virtue signaling little mother effers.
Record turnout. Okay.
What are we talking about now?
What are you talking? Okay, the drugs.
No, just be
the
like,
drugs,
the
homeless fires.
If
the
you
garbage. Sorry.
If you think that I'm not supporting the homeless enough, what are you doing to support them other than telling me I should support them more when you do jack shit? Anyways, It's those kinds of people. Live your life. Keep your mouth shut. Don't hurt other people. That's it.
No, you know what? Like hey, bro, thank you.
What? I don't know. Was that even coherent? Did you understand any point that I was trying to get across?
I understood that you need to take a drink. Are you sure you don't need some protein, dude? I think
I think that pounded turkey just hit me.
Yeah,
it's just like,
it just hit you like a bomb. No, but hey, use the electrocutor. You just did some Blanca shit right there. See? Hey, you know what? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but seriously, I think where that's coming from too is that's a lot. Just go on any comments on social media.
Yeah.
You know, people just saying all of a sudden you're right and not backing it up. It's like if you're going to complain about something, right? And you're going to say all the shit that's wrong about it. Hopefully you have some stuff to say what you're doing or your contribution is to do something right about it.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that it's not a people problem because I've been down with those people.
You've been down with
I'm down with the OPP.
You are down with those people.
No, but it's like, dude, they don't like. They are being supported by tax dollars, totally, out of this world. Like it's, if you're hungry, like, you gotta go fend for food, man. You gotta learn some skills. And we're raising all these pansy ass kids that don't know how to do a goddamn thing. They're like, oh, I know how to cook mac and cheese, the Kraft kind, right? Yeah, it's my favorite. It's like, no, dude, go learn how to shoot.
Make your own pasta, dude, in-house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going to impress people.
What did you do during the pandemic? When you were locked in California, we were locked in our house.
Made sourdough.
We were supposedly locked in our house. Dude, I was fucking everywhere. I had a blast. Nobody was stopping me. 80 miles per hour because CHP.
You were going the CHP.
Dude, no, they couldn't pull you over. They couldn't do a goddamn thing. So I could make it from here in St. Helena to Napa in 10 minutes. That is a 30 to 45 minute drive every day.
Wait.
Anyways.
You did what you were thinking about. You didn't actually do this, right?
Fuck yeah, I did. What? Are you going to waste that opportunity? I had to get my shit done in Napa and be back home to do a puzzle by 2.
A puzzle.
And then make my own homemade pasta.
Who you making a puzzle with?
Gardening, sourdough, whatever. Like, I hope people picked up hobbies and learned a couple things.
Oh, so now you're
the elimination of home ec leaves students ill prepared for life. Yeah, so we're not teaching our kids how to do basic things around the house, cooking, cleaning, gardening, right? We're also, shopping?
Build it. No, shop.
Like, building.
The wood shop, building shit. Like, I mean, dude, fuck, man. Like, I think, like, that was kind of like, sometimes there was, like, the stigma on, like, those types of classes. Obviously, they got rid of them. But, like, if to learn the skills right now, to be flipping some houses?
Yeah.
What? That sounds like a pretty good skill.
That does.
Mechanics?
Any trade right now.
Yeah.
Dude, there is a massive shortage of trade jobs.
Dude.
Like, if you weren't the best student in high school and everybody's like, college, like, they're telling you debt, and we also didn't teach you about accounting, and we didn't teach you how to file your taxes, so you're going to be fucked for the next 10 years of your life. Go to a trade school. Become an electrician. Pick up a job you love or whatever and try it out, and then go to a school that pertains to that. Wine industry is a great example. You can't make wine in the Metaverse, but people like to drink wine. So what are you going to do? Well, get a job at a winery. Learn how to make some wine. Learn how to grow some grapes. Have a little fun. I mean, you never know where it's going to go.
Oh, hey, and back to the 4-H thing. We were at the fair.
Yeah.
And that's a part of that, right? Because you're talking about the debt. As soon as debts, it's like, that was what was great about going there. It's nostalgic for us, but raising animals, learning some of that, like, hard work and trade, and then also saving money as young and in your youth to know how, okay, now I can actually pay for college myself.
Yeah.
Or contribute that, so I won't have a college loan.
Yeah.
That all my friends will be, like, complaining about for 10 years to come after that.
So, yeah, I'm going to do a plug for 4-H right now because...
Do a plug.
We grew up doing 4-H.
Yeah.
Started with pigs. I kept on going with pigs. You went to steer, which is like beef cattle. It's basically a castrated bull.
Okay, well, you don't have to...
I don't know if people know what a steer is, right?
You don't need to, like, put them on blast like that.
So...
They're still... They're still strong.
They are. They're very strong. So, 2 of the kids were doing pigs this year.
Yep.
They did 2 pigs each, and they, worked throughout the year and, fed them, bathed them, made sure that their pens were clean, everything. And so it was a good learning experience. And there were times where the kids were like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, you got to see this through. You committed. These are live animals. And, you're going to sell them to be brought to the butcher and be somebody's meat. But that meat is going to be so much better to the customer who buys it and much healthier because of how you're feeding it and giving it the love and tender care that it needs, right? And so there might be some hardship with that. Anyways, I'll get to that point. So we raise these pigs. We bring them to the fair. They do their showmanship and everything. So, like, get all dressed up in their 4-H outfits. And they got to, like, learn that skill over a period of time, too. And then they go out there and they're trying to, really, like there's a sport to it in a way. But there's, like, a pride in which, like, they take to it. And wanting to win that showmanship prize, like, first, second, third, whatever. And then you do your market show. And you want your pig to show well so that it gets, like, higher up on the marks. Yep. So it gets higher dollars per pound. So then a couple days later, the auction comes. And the whole time, like, it's fun. You got, like, friends there and everybody's having a blast. And so it's like all FFA and all 4-H. There's pigs, lambs, goats, and steer. And rabbits and chickens and all that. So just like really anything that you'd see at a farm. So the auction comes. And I am not kidding. Like, so it was my kids' first time doing it, both of them. They made some bank, like way more than I thought. Like when we were kids, like making $3,000-$4,000 for a pig was huge. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's like nothing even got near that. Like the lowest price pig was probably like $7,000, and went up to $25,000 maybe somewhere in there.
Dang.
So
what?
We didn't have the grand champion. We weren't like the highest price or anything, but still, they made a lot of money. But now the accounting part of it, so we've been accounting, so they got a basic balance sheet. They got, they're roughly per head $1,500 in cost, right? One of the kids made about $12,000.
Wow.
Now, so they're going to subtract that $1,500 and then pay me. And now I'm thinking about adding like my time onto it. I'm only like $800 an hour. So like,
That's pretty good.
So 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 they'll pay me back for all the costs that I lent them. And so they're learning about that part of it, and then they're going to take a portion of the remaining proceeds and then give it to a charity of their desire. And then they get to take a portion of their proceeds and buy what they want. So, like, one of the kids wants a two-stroke motorcycle.
Yeah.
And, we found some online that are, like, pretty reasonably priced. I was like, okay, you can do that. And then the rest are like, yeah, absolutely goes to college. So it's pretty cool. Like, there's so many facets of learning within the 4-H organization. Yeah. So I would highly recommend it for anybody. Overall, you learn how to not be a vegan, which is really important because I've seen a lot of vegans dying recently. Especially the raw vegan diet where you look emaciated. Like, you could be 25 years old and look like Madonna and Marilyn Manson had a child.
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing.
You got to picture. You see it? You see it like just really white, sunken in eyes. All the veins are popping out. All you got is bones and joints. And you just kind of look like, where's my watermelon?
Where's my watermelon? It was like crushing watermelons. Is that what you're... Well, I don't know. I don't know if we can talk about that. I don't know. Do they take it off if you're talking shit about vegan diet?
I don't know. We'll also talk shit about the Atkins diet or the
what was the other Atkins diet?
What was the other? What was the more recent one that it was like all protein?
The carnivore diet?
Yeah, the Liver King that was like pushing this whole thing. He's just like eating raw liver. Like dude, like first of all, he's just doing it all for hype. Yeah. But what a dumbass! Like,
and
the power that you wield with that, like, you're convincing all these youth that like, oh, I'm gonna look that jacked and like, yeah.
Oh, but
dude, he was doing steroids.
What do you think it all is though, man? With all the Instagram models, like the butts thing, you know what I mean? Where it's just like there's people getting implants. It's obvious, and then they're going and they're doing a video, and it's like this downward angle over the butt. It's just going up and down, and they're like, "This is how you work it."
No, I bought a pig when I was at the auction. I got a couple pigs actually from other kids, and I didn't buy my own kids' pigs. That's another important thing. You don't buy your own kids' pigs because then they just think like it's a gravy train. It's like, no, it's not about that. Like, you guys got to bring it to market.
You don't buy your own?
I don't buy my own kids' pigs.
Yeah, no.
No, and it's like they got to market it. They sent out like 30 letters each.
Oh, yeah.
To potential buyers, and then they go up to them, shake their hand. I'm so and so. I'm raising this. This is what I want to do in my life. All this stuff, and so they just gets like the ball rolling. And anybody who's got a problem with it, like PETA was there last year at the fair. We didn't have pigs, but I was buying pigs for meat because there's no better pork, there's no better beef. Like, that is the best shit you can buy, bar none. So PETA's there. First of all,
PETA was there?
Nobody in the crowd.
Didn't see them.
They were not this year. This is last year.
Okay, they weren't there this year.
They were all picketing out there.
No
joke. Wrong crowd, dude. Everybody's there to buy an animal so that they have a freezer full of meat so that they can last for another year without going to Safeway and picking up something that was on a feedlot just treated like shit. Like, yeah, that's what it's about. And supporting the kids and the community coming together, all this stuff. Like, it's so much good stuff. So they sent out 30 buyer letters soliciting business, tell them the story and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we got one bidding war going, and it was awesome. And he's like sitting up there on.
I saw. I was there. He's this smile on his face.
At one point, he just stopped, like, because he's walking around, showing his pig, and he just stops and like looks up over the fence, just this huge ass smile, like, oh my God, what is happening? Yeah. He couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So they're tied. They're stuck for life.
Well, it was good to see that. I when I was doing it, I broke a record. It was like the last year I was doing it with the steer.
Did you?
And I got like $10 a pound.
That's huge. Back then, especially, dude, that's unheard of.
Was unheard of. Yeah.
Because those things weigh like 1,400.
Yeah, 1,500 was the limit. And so mine, I think, was like 1,450.
Okay, let's just say 1,500 a pound.
Yeah.
That's $15,000.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 1,500 at 10 a pound. $15,000 for one animal.
Yeah.
And how much money did you have into it?
Oh, with steers, it was 1,500.
That's it?
Well, because you're saying 1,500 for 2 pigs.
No, 1,500 per head right now.
When you buy the steer, when we bought the steer, was 500, and then feed.
One baby pig costs $500. right now.
But that was then.
I know. So I always forget that we're not young anymore.
Wow.
And inflation is real.
True that.
But so.
But nowadays, dude, did you see the steers at all?
Yeah, the steers, they look good, but the steers were.
Are they going for crazy prices like that?
They're at least $10,000. Like but I asked the kids like, what does it cost? It's between like $4,000 and $6,000. So like they're still yielding pretty good, like the kids are. So but some of those steers are going for 15 to 20. Like 50, you got 15 in your last year, man. That's solid. That's big.
Yeah. Well, that's great, and it's good. And like you said, support the kids.
Yeah.
But PETA wasn't there this year.
PETA wasn't there this year because I think they realized nobody was listening to them, and I'm sure there was a lot of shit talking.
So we have all these classes set up for a reason. We're pretty deep in. I think this is going to be a two-parter, bro.
This was a lot of just whatever the fuck else.
We did a lot of whatever the fuck else. So
we talked about what did we talk about? Wine, with the wine. Wine is not in the metaverse.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to say right now though. Okay. You are going to make a video game. You need to make a winery video game. It hasn't been done. I'm coining it right now. We can do it right now. It has to be educational. They can say, "Oh, alcohol. You shouldn't be doing that." If kids are, dude, Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, no shit.
Stuff like that shit.
You can go buy a hooker. You can buy drugs. You buy alcohol. You can crash. You can kill police.
But I'm saying like a real life video game where you're building a winery, and you're just like going through. Like, you can figure out all the dynamics to it. Do they have it?
Oh, like theme park.
Winery.
What? They already got one?
No way. It's a simulator. They already did it?
Well, it's a simulator. I would do it a little more like
winery simulator though. That's not like I'm talking about.
Oh, you could buy like a bigger press and shit. You could
Wait,
you gotta hedge your vineyards.
How old is this game? Art just tried to bring up. It says, wait, hold on. Release date is the second quarter 2024. So it hasn't even been released yet. What is this? Who makes it?
Dude, this is a great idea.
Steam.
Who makes it?
It's on Steam platform.
Oh, it's on Steam?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a platform that has a whole bunch of games on it. So like that's just a subscription, right, Art? You just like
Correct, yes.
And you have access to all those games.
Yeah.
And are there in-app purchases on Steam?
You could get labeled
shape.
Okay.
Yes, there are.
Why is it Wait, who was the
Okay, this is cool, but like Theme Park, that was a good game.
Yep. And that's where you
Sim City was the OG. That was the original, right?
Yeah.
And that was like
and then
you're building a city, kind of learning about infrastructure and
then came The Sims.
The Sims. I never played The Sims. And then Farmstead, maybe?
Farmstead.
I don't know. There was some farming one.
Farmville,
yeah. So there were some good ones that were like a lot of. I remember the theme park though. You could like jack up the amount of syrup that goes in your sodas.
Yeah.
So everybody gets all hyped up and they go on more rides, but then they throw up.
Yes.
And then if you pull it back, then they get all pissed off and they leave the park.
And then you have to have someone to clean up all that shit.
Yeah.
If you don't clean it up, then they don't go to the park.
Yeah.
See, there's educational pieces of it. So anyways, there's a wine simulator coming out in 2024, but whatever, dude. You could do a game.
Okay, so if you weren't going to do a winery simulator.
But hold on. It'll be set up as like gangs, though. Okay?
Like,
just hear me out.
Like, no, hold on. Like Romeo and Juliet. Like,
yes.
Like the Capulets and the... Montagues, thank you.
Yes.
Sonoma against Napa.
That's it.
What?
Sonoma versus Napa.
Oh, dude, do it.
You could like steal their winemakers, be like, dude, I'm paying them more.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Sonoma guys are like, you need Sonoma winemakers to make good Napa wine.
It's like, yeah, it's like you lost like a winemaker, like got corkscrewed in the vineyards, like stabbed. We're gonna have like
he got shanked.
He got shanked in it, like yeah, dude.
With a picking knife.
Dude, that'd be cool. You could go over to other wineries and steal their grapes. Is this bad? Is this teaching? I'm not trying to teach bad things. I'm just trying to make it,
No. I mean, I actually think it's a good concept. You could even make it like a little more of like a mystery, like a clue.
Yeah. Like
whodunit.
Okay.
But I don't think you're gonna learn much with that.
Could you like have wine showers and shit happening?
Yeah, I'm trying to think like how, like to keep people engaged. I mean,
who wouldn't want to play a game where it's like Gangster's Paradise at a winery and it's like wine showers and you're like, it's like you make it like Mafia, like
Ooh, the Mafia comes in with the distributors, right?
A little god.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
and
the
then it's
mob
like,
rolls
shit.
in.
And then like instead of cops, it's like the TTB.
Oh, yeah. That's good. So you get the mob coming in. They're like, look.
Yeah.
I want you to I want you to give me some of the wine. I want to be the distributor for you in New York.
Yeah.
And then
wait, hold on. Was that your New York accent?
And then you're like, no, man, we don't have enough production to ship wine to New York. He's like, I'm not asking you. I want you to give me the wine to New York, and I'm not gonna ask nice again. And then the TTV rolls up, and they're like, freeze! And then just shit hits the fan, and then you got to figure out how to clean up the mess and cover it all up.
Yeah.
And pretend that nobody was there. You got dead agents. You've got dead mobsters.
Yes.
You got questions that you don't have answers to, and then you have to flee to I don't know, Mendocino to start a new winery.
Yeah, and then like different AVAs do different. I mean, dude, this game could be like, dude, it could.
And
be
then
big.
there was El Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the weather planner roll.
Oh my gosh! And you can make it multiplayer.
Oh yeah, dude. Of course,
Dude,
keep it open platform,
like
all online.
There's just people that just join, and all they do is just drink other people's wines. They're like the lazy ones.
They could be the sommeliers.
They just go. There'll be psalms. There'll be psalms.
That's it. Yeah, you get the psalms coming in. Perfect. Thank you, Art.
Oh, you
well
get to
timed.
choose your okay. We're gonna play this, but just so you know, we're gonna copyright or something. We'll have it out. Okay, like before we get, just want to hit that article about the wine, and then we'll get into this or what?
The article about what?
Did you hear about that? They're storing wine under the sea.
Oh yeah, I have heard about that. A few people have done that. I actually really like the idea.
Yeah, you do like the idea. Art, can you bring that up? Actually, I'm gonna say I gotta give Art credit. He was the one that brought it up.
Okay. Good. Good job, Art. Here's a little golf clap for you. Can you hear this?
Okay.
Good job, Arturo.
I was on the can.
Can you start over, Art? Can we watch this?
Dude, was that the Titan?
Massive metal cage filled with a bounty of nearly 1,500 bottles of red wine. This is not dumb luck. Azaretto knew what he was looking for because he sank it in the ocean a year ago. He's the co-founder of Ocean Fathoms, a company experimenting with using the ocean floor as a wine cellar.
Yeah.
The bottles come out dripping with seawater and shellacked with seashells.
This is one of the bottles that just came off.
See,
Each
that's cool.
bottle, I mean, it's an
You see how they put?
That's good.
Did you see how they seal them in wax?
Yeah. So the bottles are sealed in wax, and
You
why
gotta-
why would they do that?
Just
Because
1
you don't
year
want fucking
in the
salt
murky
getting in your
depths,
wine.
The bottles
Because it's a perfect
foils
seal.
and corks allow shit to permeate through.
Curious and perhaps thirsty sea creatures.
Jesus Christ!
But
Dude,
Ocean
like that is a
Fathoms
great
is
example of
interested
how
in
like
the
people are like
ocean's
wax doesn't make a difference. Yeah,
the
it fucking
inside
does.
of the bottle.
Because
It holds this section.
So they're doing okay. So they got like this whole thing. So I was watching this and like the process of it. So it was like 1,500 bottles in that cage of red wine, and they're storing it there for a year under the sea. And so their whole the benefits that they're like promoting is like the 54 degrees, which is that consistent with wine?
To me, you know, that's probably too cool for some people. That's my preferred temperature for like reds. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's red wine, and so and then no light, little oxygen, and then there was like they were touching on the gentle currents.
And then there's the rocking, right?
Yeah, the rocking. So explain, like, why would that be?
Well, it all depends, right? So I think that if they're aging on like lees, right? So like if they leave like a little sediment in there, you might maybe want to keep that going, so like you get more polysaccharide pickup and a little more mouthfeel over time.
Yeah.
Barrels or vessels under the ocean that actually are like with young wine for like long-term aging, I think that'd be really cool to see. Like a steel barrel or something.
Do barrels.
Just see it.
There.
So like champagne. Champagne's a good one because when you go through tirage, like your aging process, right?
Yeah.
So you have your secondary fermentation in bottle, in the traditional method of making champagne, and then with that you have all of the yeast in that bottle still, maybe some bentonite and whatever other solids are in there that fall out of suspension, and that's why they like move the bottles every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
To keep the contact of that lees. And riddling is when they bring it up to a nearly upside down position to get all of that plug down to the tip of the neck, and then they freeze it, pop it out, put a dosage in there, and then cork it. And then it's ready to go. So I think that if you do I think that'd be a perfect place for champagne to be aged.
Yeah.
Like for because people keep it in tirage for like 10 years. And those are like the best fucking champagnes too.
And the current you think would kind of work as the riddling?
No, it wouldn't work as a riddling. So like a lot of people don't even want to move it when it's in tirage, when it's like aging. Okay. So it's just like a cake on the bottom. Riddling is really specifically for when you want to get all of those solids from the side of the bottle up into the neck to be able to pull that out. That's called disgorgement.
And you have to do it because I've seen like there was like the that famous, we've talked about this before too, the master riddler at Schramsberg.
Yeah.
And because they have to turn it like 45 degrees exactly.
No, it's like a, God, I think it's like an 1/8 of a turn or a 16th of a turn. Like it's a tiny turn, and then a tiny increase in angle.
But you're doing that like once you turn it, then there's some time.
Yeah, then there's a period of, I don't know, whatever it is, a couple weeks, and then you come up, do the same thing until it slowly, and those things that are, the riddling racks.
Yeah.
So they start off like, at one angle, and then you keep on bringing them down so you can, so the angle of the bottles continues to go more vertically upside down.
Yeah.
So that plug hits the very bottom.
Yeah, because this
gets in all the neck. Yeah.
So the reason why they were like famously for doing it is I've seen him in action. And, like, it's just crazy because there's just all these racks. And he's just going through so fucking fast. And every turn's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, so I thought I was wrong, 45. But you're saying it's like an 1/8 or whatever it was that it needed to turn. Yeah. He's going through 2 hands at one time.
And I heard that, like, when they're riddling, too, because it won't be it won't be like this, right? Like, it won't be like both clockwise.
Yeah.
So he knows which rows he's going, like, one counterclockwise, one clockwise. So it's like...
Oh, shoot.
And then he has to remember exactly which ones he was doing that way too. The next time he riddles.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how fast this guy's going.
So here's some riddlers right now that we're watching, just doing exactly what we're talking about. The quick turns, and that's fast.
Yeah, that's fast.
Just kind of like...
So I think Champagne Under the Sea would be a great one. I also think, like, I'd love to see... Like, the demijohns, like the giant glass vessels?
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd be cool to put bottle-ready wine in that and then just, like, drop it in large format and then bottle it, like, later on.
Oh, cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I think this... And have you heard of this before? So this is Ocean's Fathom. And
I
had never seen something like this before.
I've heard of some spirits being aged underwater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and some other people had like done wine in the past, but I mean, if you think about it, like at some point there's going to be an environmental issue, I think.
If everyone's doing it.
I mean,
I mean, right now they're doing it in Santa Barbara. I think they're the only ones doing it in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, but I don't know that there is actually an environmental issue. It's like saying like, well, you put anchors down all the time.
But when they're pulling, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, when you mention environmental, it's like when they're pulling those bottles out.
No, this one was actually like aged in a boat, I think. Jefferson's Ocean aged at sea. Yeah, but that's actually really good stuff. I like that a
lot. When they were pulling the bottles out, which I know that you like to do, like with the crustaceans on it.
Yeah.
And shells, and then some they were pulling out that had like fucking
starfish and stuff. Yeah.
On it, which like sick. It just looked like something from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So would you just leave the barnacles on the bottle?
That's what they're doing, I think. Though.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. Which
is cool, but like, I mean, would that be? That's another. I don't know. I'm guessing it's cool. Like, see?
Look at that.
So we have
some like barnacles and stuff. I like that.
And so that's what they do. Like, they leave it like that. And there was and these are, as Joe noted, have wax.
Yes, they do. That's I could tell that's that hard wax though. That's like they did a really solid seal on those. But it's cool. I like it. I like the idea. I like the twist on it, man. That's great. And I mean, honestly, like the coast of California, like you get down in the ocean, it's like the same temperature every day of the year.
Yeah.
Like it rarely ever changes. It's like just the surface. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's cool. And what's you said 54 degrees for red wine, and then what was
Well, I mean, 54 is a little cool. Like we keep our cellar at like 56 to 58.
Okay.
But I like 54. We don't need to go that cool, and it's just going to cost like more money in electricity. So it's like,
yeah, but
but some people will go up to like 60, 62, and we see more issues in like bacterial issues and stuff like that. So we like to keep it a little cooler and cleaner.
Okay, and that's good.
Cleanliness is that's just a personal preference. Like you can prefer a warm, and like I'm talking like 5 to 8 degrees is the difference between what winemakers think is the proper temperature. It's not like 20 degrees. So somebody might be like 63, another's like 55, and you could have any variation of I like it at this level of humidity at this temperature, and like there are so many variations on it, and it just depends on your personal preference.
Yeah.
I prefer our cellar dry, so no humidity.
Okay.
Because it's messy. You get a lot of mold when you have humidity, but your losses are less. You have less evaporative loss from the barrels. So I don't mind the evaporative loss, and honestly, I think it concentrates the wine over time. So if you look at like a regular cellar with relatively high humidity, maybe you're going to have a 5% loss over a year-long period. Okay. Maybe our loss is 10 to 15% of evaporative loss. So because we have a dry cellar, but we keep the cellar cool, but still a lot of that moisture comes out. Well, all of call them the compounds that make up the flavors and phenolics of a wine, they're going to be concentrated by that much, right? Because water and alcohol evaporate at about the same rate, but all the other compounds that are in there stay intact. So I think it's a benefit to the quality, personally, and it's a cleaner cellar.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
That was our boring wine talk for the day.
Well, I mean, boring talk, but do you stand out as someone that does that, like with no humidity?
I know there's quite a few people.
Okay.
But, I mean, most people put humidity systems in their cellar, and they're just like the misters and stuff. Like if you're in a cave, like we're building a cave right now. Well, one of the benefits of a cave is that you have naturally low like cellar temperature, right? That's kind of what it came from, was cellar temperature from a cave. And you have natural humidity. Well, I don't like humidity, so we start digging this cave, and we get like all of our layers reinforced and everything, and then we put a waterproof barrier in the cave so that we don't have natural moisture. Oh. And it's like, do you really want to do that? Like, this is like natural humidity. And I'm like, no, I want a dry cellar. So we're paying extra to turn a naturally moist area into a dry area.
And
sounds like everything that you would do wrong sexually.
I know that we've talked about aesthetics before, okay? We talked about the can on previous episodes, like canned, box wine, all that kind of stuff, okay? And that was like style. It was more like, your choices, the creative choices. And I know you mentioned that you're going to be coming out with waxed wine juice boxes. Right?
Definitely. Waxed wine juice boxes.
Burgundy and Tall Boys.
That's a great idea.
What do you think about that?
Dude, that'd be awesome.
You think you can do it?
You could do like a 40 of Burgundy.
Yeah, why not?
You could do something very similar to that. Yeah.
Okay. So, I was kind of in on that. This is.
Oh, so you want royalties on this?
You want royalties? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to get to though was like getting into shape. Okay. When are you starting? When are you starting Hard 75?
I got a wine dinner tonight. I'm supposed to start tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So
but I don't know if it's going to start tomorrow.
Okay. We'll get back to what I really meant was getting in shape of like why the shapes of things, right, that are actually either practical or traditional when it comes to glassware and even the wine bottles themselves. So that's why we've had all these glasses and these wine bottles on this table as we've been fucking bullshitting.
We haven't even touched on these.
And going way off the rails. We're going to get to it now.
I mean, I'm not going to get into all of them, and we didn't bring all of them because all of them are a waste of time. And I appreciate what like Riedel does and their focus on really trying to maximize what each varietal is supposed to provide through the kind of details that are designed into the glass, just the shape itself, right? So. But I'm gonna first simplify it for everybody because I don't want them to get bored and all the mumbo jumbo. This is your standard Riedel, like red wine glass.
Yes.
This thing, like this is just straight up like this is what we do all of our tastings with every one of our wines. We have a bunch of these in the winery. If they break, so be it. But like, dude, they're just solid. They're good. They're well proportioned. They do the job. And this is what we pretty much taste every single one of our competitive tastings, every one of our blends, all that, right? So.
Oh, cheers.
And they're sturdy. That was
sturdy. Dude,
I just was just trying
break.
to test that. Yeah. Thought that would have broken. Okay, now, so this, you can use this for red, white. Like, this is your casual, like, Tuesday night glass. Like, if you're a Karen, dude, fucking fill this thing right up to the top.
And this just looks like, I mean, for those that aren't watching, it's like your standard wine glass. I don't know, does this one have a name?
I'm sure it does, but we just buy a bunch of them at a time.
Okay, it's the ones that everyone uses. Art, actually, if you have a link there, I think I have.
All right, but
Riedel.
Okay, so I'm gonna. This is the other basic glass here that like you probably. That I do prefer this, but I don't mind having champagne out of a regular like white wine glass or red wine glass. But the flute, it always feels good. I also like the coupe because it makes me feel fancy. And at the end of the day, you just want to kind of feel good about what you're drinking and when you're drinking it.
Is there the practical reason for the flute?
It's only so that the beauty of the bubbles.
The beauty of the bubbles.
Beauty of the bubbles.
Oh,
they will say that it's got a slight taper for the aromatics.
Yeah.
And whatever else. That's all. It's all really just the beauty of the bubble.
The beauty.
Yeah. But this is the glass that I provide, like, for all of our events. There's two styles. I'm just going to use my red wine one. So there's two different sizes, same style. So these were actually developed by Andrea Emmer Robinson is her name, and she is a good somm. Not a lot of those.
Yes.
So we got to make sure you put that out there. She's a very good somm.
Thank you.
Knows her stuff and cares about the industry. I've been trying to get her on TikTok too. Like, we got to get her out into social media a little. She's doing her thing. She's got like a great following on Facebook and like huge club, good voice in the industry. Does some great consulting work for some big companies like airlines and whatever else, and like gives them good guidance. And she's fair to everybody. Like, I mean, all regions. She doesn't have like a favorite. She lives here in Napa Valley, but she's not like, I focus on Napa Valley wine. Brings the world of wine in.
Let's bring her on.
We should bring her on.
Okay. Put that on the list.
So she designed this glass. It's blown in one piece, right? So your standard like bowl, stem, base, and but it's very sturdy. Like, you can see there's like a seam on the bottom of this one probably. You can like feel that seam like that right there, where it's fused together.
Yeah.
And then feel this one. Why are you rubbing it like that?
Is that how I rub it? Dude, why do we want to rub it like this? What? Like counterclockwise? Clockwise?
No,
what?
I thought you were trying to stick it in. It's glass. It's glass.
What?
No, so it's all.
Wait, why is Art shaking his head? How do you rub the bottom of a wine glass?
That was awkward, right, Art?
Wait, what?
I had to turn away.
But then I went straight finger.
If you guys are just listening,
you do it.
If you were just listening, Chris was caressing the bottom of just like that. See?
But no, don't go right to the tip. You got to work your way in.
You know what? I don't need any advice from you. Okay, so now what I like about these is that it's a big bowl.
Yes.
Right? But then it tapers up pretty sharp.
Yes.
So you always get good aromatics. Now this glass I'd say works for champagne, reds, whites, like any of them. Like, it always is solid. This is like the go-to everyday glass for simplicity, casual, also all the way up to the most like fancy wines you want to taste. I love it. It has never failed me. I've broken a few of them, but no, it's good, solid glass. So you can get all fancy with like your Burgundian or Burgundy shaped glasses, which are massive bowls that come up to like a tulip shape, or your bigger, broader, and taller bowl for Bordeaux varietals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you were to take a wine and put them in 5 different glasses, I would say that they're probably going to be better in that one specific glass. The reality is, nobody really has enough space for all those glasses. I mean, like,
yeah, you're right.
Like, really, like, I mean, restaurants, you might expect that from like a really nice restaurant, that they're going to have a plethora of glassware that is like purpose built for specific regions of wine. And it'll elevate that experience like a little bit. Like, call it, I don't know, 2% of an elevation, right? Well, if you're talking about wine scores, when we're tasting wines, if I'm trying to think like a critic, 2% is 2 points. That's big, right? So it's like, oh, are you a 90 or a 92? Are you a 93 or a 95? So if we can reblend something slightly to make it a 95 in our eyes, and we think that hopefully the critics will think the same, and the consumers will think the same, then cool, we'll do it. So same thing though. So at that level of restaurant, like, yeah, you should expect all of these different options for glassware to hit your table depending on what you're drinking. But at your, like, fine dining establishments that are not, whatever Michelin star, I think, you go with a glass like the One. It's called the One. And because
your favorite glass.
Yeah, it's because it's just what you only need it, right?
One.
Keeps everything clean, straightforward. Yeah.
So do you think if someone was going to hand you, if you're going to a restaurant and you ordered Bordeaux and then someone comes in, there's the One glass.
And she's not lying. The only glasses you'll need for all wines. Like, it is, yeah, it's they're good.
But if
and I am not getting paid. This is not an ad. I'm not getting paid for this.
This is not an ad. So
she sent me some of these like 10 years ago, and I tried them out and compared them to like other glassware, and I was like, dude, these are they're solid. They're fucking rock solid.
But do you think like if someone serves a Bordeaux wine in a Burgundy glass, or vice versa, or something like that, is that like a faux pas, or is that like
it's heresy? They should never drink wine again. No, I think it does.
I was like, what? That was not your voice, dude. You were like,
that was my Napoleon thing. You didn't get that?
You doing Napoleon impression?
I was doing Oh, I gotta like shrink down a little bit. I gotta like start looking a little more like Kyle. I'm just saying that right now because I want to see if he listens to this. So, no, he doesn't.
I doubt it.
Because I know I would think he's gonna come to me and be like, dude, what the fuck? You're talking trash about me? Be like, I'm glad you were listening.
Yeah,
that's like
got your attention.
Yeah, you got to do that. Like I remember when I used to have people like proofread stuff for like whatever marketing material I was like writing up. Like So there was this girl. Well, just her first name was, and she was working like doing like kind of like basic marketing stuff. And so I'd write like the whole fact sheet, like all the details, and then I'd like just insert like one line where it'd be like, dude, something super inappropriate, whatever. Like I don't remember. This is like 15 years ago.
Oh, jeez, Joe. People listening, dude. I just draw them in. Give the people what they want.
Just something that I would say on this podcast.
When did you get shy all of a sudden? What's wrong with you, dude?
I'm not
you
being
say the
shy.
most fucked up shit sometimes, and then now you like won't even give an example of some of the stuff you used to hide in there.
All right, so then I'd be like, "This is some fucked up shit," and then I'd give it to her and be like, "Can you just like proofread it and let me know what you think?" And like one time she gave it back to me. She's like, "No, it's all great," and I was like, "No, it ain't. You didn't catch this part. Oh my God, I must have missed that part. You didn't fucking read it. Don't give me that shit." So yeah.
You said you missed this part that says
whatever it said, Chris. I don't know. Make it up.
What did you
fill in the blank?
I want to know.
Look, I'm trying to work on being more appropriate. I don't know.
You are?
Yeah, you can tell.
Okay, you wrote like, I no longer get dingleberries because I wax. Something like that.
Exactly, something like that. Something like that. All right, we got to get going because I got to go to a wine dinner tonight.
No, wait, dude, okay. So just answer the question about the glassware. Okay, so
what was it?
So it doesn't break tradition. You can pour any wine you want into any glass. It doesn't really matter. All that stuff is just kind of like bull. And then I mean, well, what? Like it's all like not bull, but like preference, I guess. Is there any like? Are you saying you have to have the Bordeaux wine in the Bordeaux glass because the Bordeaux wine knows what glass it's in?
So not all wines are equal, but you may see a very marginal increase in the quality or the character, right?
Yeah,
that's it. You don't. It's not like it doesn't turn like fucking Franzia boxed wine into like a fine Cabernet. Like no, it just kind of actually those would make it worse. Those are meant to be drank out of styrofoam cups and like, refills for your fountain soda cup. Yeah.
And then what about bottles? So like, I mean, the same thing. Like, so you have like the Burgundy bottles have a distinct look compared to Bordeaux.
There's a couple trains of thought on this one. I don't know what to believe, honestly.
Okay. What train are you on?
So, I think I'm on the first train. And that train is that, God, hold on. I believe it was Bordeaux. Bordeaux or Burgundy. One of the two. Very different bottle shapes, right?
Yeah.
So one has very sloped shoulders and low shoulders, right? Oh, yeah, you got them right here. Okay.
Yeah. Here we
so
go.
you got low sloped shoulders, and then this is much more of an angled high shoulder up here, right? That's Bordeaux is angled high. Burgundy is angled and like low and shallow. So I'm gonna just go off recollection here, but I think that it was Bordeaux that was the first to do it, to really characterize the look of their wines.
Yes.
To come up with a special mold that people could recognize from across the room, right? So it's like, oh, I know that's Bordeaux. I know I like that. I'll do a bottle of that. And then really quickly after, Burgundy. I might have these two backwards, honestly.
Okay, I think
it might have been Burgundy first.
Art's going to back you up. Don't worry about it.
But then Burgundy, or whoever was second, saw that and was like, oh, we need to have something ownable, like an ownable shape as well. But it's got to be different. And then they jumped into what we now call the Burgundy shaped bottle.
Got it.
And then you've got like the Hawk, the long Riesling bottle. Same thing. Alsace jumped in, and they did the same thing. So they were all trying to say like, our region is synonymous with this bottle shape.
Marketing.
And it was marketing. Now, some people will say that the shoulders on the bottle are as such because of the way the sediment will lay during long-term aging, and like the Bordeaux bottle will capture the sediment and the sharp shoulder, and the Burgundy, you don't really need to worry about it too much because it's a light. Well, I don't know what the fuck they say, but it's like, I think it was actually the first that really, the bottle shape was really more conducive to marketing. Like that was the premise of it. Now, one thing that people don't really recognize is that original, like early wine bottles, they didn't have a really small orifice. They were much bigger, right? Like wine jugs.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, the development of this really like tapering up to a really small orifice, just about the diameter of what you see right now at the opening of a wine bottle, that was a huge benefit to the quality of wine because you had that much less area for oxygen to potentially get in. So what we now have today was like, as our kind of standard, inside diameter, was a very important thing. They do vary in size a little bit, but like overall, if you were thinking like, if you had, what was it, the Mickey's grenades, those little like wide mouths?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if you had something like that and like shoving a cork into that thing, and then like that's a lot more surface area for oxygen to permeate through. It doesn't have the seal.
Cork, yeah.
Yeah. And then you also have when you fill these up to the tip, like to the proper fill height, you have much less surface area. If it was down at like a diameter like 2 inches, you're gonna have a lot more surface area interacting with whatever air is in there. So yeah, that was a big technological breakthrough when that happened.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up, because then that's like a more practical reason for it.
Yeah.
So now you know, like, okay, cool. So you can actually, and then the last thing in closing, you could really choose to put any kind of wine in any kind of bottle that you wanted to. You don't have to follow.
No, you can.
So if you want to get crazy, put some Burgundy in a Bordeaux bottle.
Yeah.
Sell it and surprise some people.
What you trying to do crazy with this, eh?
Oh, what? Do we have time for horrible bosses?
I think we do. I do want to talk about.
No, RC, no, we don't.
No, we don't. Well, I want to talk about punts sometime. So I guess we don't have time for horrible bosses. So this was Go With Your Palate.
Wait, do you want to talk about punts?
Punts.
But do you want to talk about?
No,
punts?
we'll do it next time.
We're gonna do it next time, so people have to tune in.
Yeah, because I got to get bottles with different punt sizes.
Okay, I'm gonna put punts on the docket.
It's not one punt fits all.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
And this horrible boss is really good, so you gotta tune into the next episode when we'll actually get to it.
Actually, this is a really long one. Yeah, we're gonna hit this up next time. Hey, sorry we talked a lot about bullshit and whatever the fuck else this time. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Gonna happen.
Come on back.
Yes.
You heard.
All right.
Peace.